Hi, everyone, and welcome to Putting the Bell in House Ball, where we explore the origins, impacts, and musical idols of House Ball. My name's Amy Nguyen, and I will be your host through this journey. In this first episode, we will be discussing the transformation of drag ball into house ball and the musical icons that shaped the movement. So, what was drag ball, and how did it change? Drag ball started in the early 20th century at the Hamilton Lodge Ball and the Funmakers Ball. In Harlem, these locations created a space for queer individuals such as drag queens, gay folk, and gender nonconforming people to come together and dance, compete, and just have fun with others that share their identities. The burgeoning Harlem Renaissance movement fueled the beginning of the drag ball scene in the 1920s. While drag balls were interracial, prejudice was still at play. Judges tended to favor Eurocentric features during competitions, making it difficult for performers of color to have any competitive success within the drag scene. This repeated discrimination, specifically in competition, led to high racial tension within the drag ball scene, which reached its peak in 1967. In 1967, at the Miss All-America beauty pageant, Miss Philadelphia Rachel Harlow took the crown. In response to her victory, Miss Manhattan, Crystal LaBeija, a black contestant, publicly spoke out, claiming that the event was rigged against black and Latinx contestants. After this competition, Crystal LaBeija was encouraged to promote her own ball by fellow drag queen Lottie LaBeija, resulting in the birth of the first ever ballroom house, the House of LaBeija, with Crystal LaBeija as the house mother at its helm. Crystal LaBeija, along with other house mothers, Dorian Corey, Avis Pendavis, Paris Dupree, and La Duchess Wong, and eventually Angie Extravaganza, led the first houses in house ball. These houses were the first safe spaces specifically created for people of color in the drag ball scene. For example, the House of Extravaganza, founded by Angie Extravaganza, was the very first Latinx house which challenged ideals of beauty during the era. House ball further separated itself from drag ball with the inclusion of Erskine Christian, the first gay man to ever compete. His inclusion signified a shift from trans women and female presenting performers to including gay men and male presenting performers. This shift reflected in the house as they moved from being led by house mothers taking care of children to the creation of house ball to being led by house mothers and or fathers taking care of children. The creation of house ball paved a path that would eventually help support the queer liberation movement, but we will discuss that in a later episode. But while discussing the creation of house ball, the innovators of house music cannot be forgotten. While drag balls and eventually house balls started in New York City, house music found its origins in Chicago and flourished in Detroit with the DJs of the club scene. We could spend hours discussing the development of house music, but we really don't have the time for that. Instead, we are going to highlight two DJs, one from Chicago and another from Detroit, who helped shape house music. As house music got its start in Chicago, we're going to start its exploration in Chicago dance clubs with the godfather of house music, Frankie Knuckles. Knuckles was a prolific producer and remixer who played at clubs like Chicago's Warehouse and Power Plant. He pioneered early house music with its disco groove, strong dance beat, and heavy influence of synthesizers, such as the drum machine and synthetic guitar. Alrighty, I'm gonna play a snippet of Frankie Knuckles' remix, Move Your Body, and let's all listen for some of these elements in this song.
set you free. It's gonna 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 set you free. Move your body. Move your body. Shake your body. Move your body. Move your body. Shake your body. Move your body. Move your body. Move your body. Move your body.
You can clearly hear the repetition, iconic of disco, in combination with the drum machine sound and other synthesized sounds which defined early house music. House music was created for the club and dancing, so you will almost always hear a definitive beat and rhythm. As house music developed and expanded, it reached Detroit, and more specifically, it hit the turntables of Stacey Hot Wax Hale, the godmother of electronic house music. Hale was the first woman to play house music on the radio in Detroit and developed some of the first techniques to seamlessly slip from one track to the next on reel. She made her impact playing to all-female dance nights, leaving her mark on house music as a whole. Let's listen to a short clip of her set of the Boiler Room, Detroit, taking note of her style in house music. Her style was defined by strong beats from a drum machine with a clear synthetic sound with smooth transitions and incorporation of old jazz sounds to new technology. If any of y'all have the chance to watch her video, it is a must watch even today. All right, everyone, it looks like that's all I have for us in this episode of Putting the Bell in House Ball, where we discuss the origins, impacts, and musical idols of house ball. This episode covered the creation of house ball from drag ball and the innovators that shaped house music as we know it today. Please tune in to the next episode where we will be discussing the evolution of house ball, Vogue, and the people that define the evolution of house.